We welcome back Stephanie Hansen from the law firm of Young, Conaway, Stargett and Taylor, and of course Charlie Copeland, president of Associates International, a graphics and printing company, our Democrat and our Republican. Let's listen to comments from Tuesday and basically put them in perspective. First, Governor Markell.
Nobody cared that I was a Democrat. Nobody cared if somebody in need was a Republican. And nobody cared if the person who was rescuing them was an independent. In times of crisis, we pull together. We take care of what needs to be done. And that's what makes Delaware a state of neighbors. And tonight is especially sweet because of how far we have come together in these last 4 years.
How big is his mandate?
I think it was bigger 4 years ago. I mean, I think at this point, you know, everyone sort of expects things to continue to get better. I think that it will probably maybe cause him to focus a little bit more when it's time to put out public money for big ventures like another Fisker adventure and whatnot, to kind of be a little more circumspect about that. But I think as far as a mandate, like I said, I think it was bigger 4 years ago. But I mean, it continues to be clear we have to get ourselves out of this hole. We have to continue working to get ourselves out of this hole that we've been in.
What about you, Charlie?
Jack Markell can do whatever he wants to do. He's got 2/3 majority votes in both houses of the General Assembly. He got 70% of the vote. He got 70% of the vote 4 years ago. And so, you know, he can do whatever he wants to do.
Okay. Well, next, let's hear from Senator Tom Carper.
Bombs were thrown in this campaign, and we don't need any more bomb throwers in Washington. We got enough of them, don't you think? Got enough of them. What we need in Washington are bridge builders, and that's what Chris and John and I do. We build bridges so the Democrats and Republicans can work together to get things done.
Do you think he sounds angry? Do you think this election puts Senator Tom Carper in some sort of Delaware political folklore?
I think he's angry about the personal attacks. I'm sure that he's glad that it's over, but I don't think that he's quite played it all out and has put it behind him just yet. I mean, Alex Pires was entertainment for the electorate, but it was very personal for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was angry about an Alex Pires candidate that came out and in some ways really maligned him personally. That being said, you know, Senator Carper's been in Washington 12 years, and over the last 3 years, the Senate has failed to pass a budget. So I don't know how you can make the argument that we're bridge building when the Senate is not doing its job to even foment the debate with the House. And I think that's what needs to happen now, because there's no more excuses in Washington to say, oh, we have to wait till the next election. And so I think Senator Carper needs to now act on that if he truly believes it.
Well, Senator Carper definitely made a joke about it in his speech last night. He asked the crowd if they wanted to see him do some push-ups. Now let's listen to John Carney.
We have a great country here in the United States of America, but we have to work together to get the things done that are necessary. I promise you, every single one, that I will go to Washington with that in mind over the next 2 years.
Well, Carney says he can compromise, but he's going to be the minority. Do you think he can do things to actually help Delaware?
Well, he can probably do as much as anyone in the minority can. I think it's good that he is in the position. I mean, if we have to have someone that's in the minority that really kind of can reach across the aisle, he has the right personality to do that. I mean, John he's serious, he means business, but he does not come across as aggressive and over the top and difficult to work with. He's not difficult to work with at all. And he's a good person to have in the position, I believe.
You know, my only issue with John is that as a Democrat in a safe seat in Washington, he's a free vote that the Democrats often use, and according to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, his voting record on business issues, on job-creating issues, was one of the worst in the nation. And I think it wasn't because of necessarily John, it was because the Democrats would come to him and say, we need your vote on this so that somebody else can get a clear vote, and we know that this issue will lose or whatever it is. And I think he needs to exert a little more leadership within the Democratic caucus in Washington on the House side to move them more to the center, and that's going to be difficult.
What about the Republicans? Did they achieve anything they set out to do? What's the next step, you think?
In the state of Delaware?
Yeah.
Well, you know, as the vice president has said many times, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up and brush off and rejoin the fray. And we've been getting knocked down a lot. And so I think it's a matter of get back up and brush off. You know, for a number of years, I've been trying to increase our outreach in Delaware to the minority community. And you look at the Romney campaign, and one of the analysis that I saw yesterday is that, you know, you can't win elections continually if all you are is the party of white guys. And that's going to be a problem. Now, the Democrats have that problem. If you look at their leadership in the state of Delaware, it's all a bunch of white guys. But they have the opportunity of being Democrats. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Maybe not over the next 2 years, but over the next 4, 6, 8, and 10 years.
Okay. Well.